Rustico, just a sound check.
Yes, Wayne, we can hear you.
Any members of the public in the council chambers?
There's nobody here in the chambers, Wayne, at this moment.
Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Good afternoon, everyone. Everybody can hear me?
Yes.
Thank you. Welcome to the Development Permit Panel on June the 14th, 2023. With me today are my two colleagues, Mr. John Atkins, Acting General Manager, Planning and Development, and Mr. James Cooper, Director of Building Approvals, and I'm Cecilia Asham, General Manager for Community Safety. And with us, there are a number of staff, including Mr. Wayne Craig from Director of Development, and Suzanne Smith, also from Development Applications. So today I just want to go over a couple of things. The panel deals with form and character, so issues such as landscaping, lighting, access, architecture, that kind of stuff. We do not deal with zoning, land use, or density. That has already been addressed by council at the rezoning stage. And with that, I will start with the agenda. So can we have a motion to adopt the minutes from the Development Permit Panel from May 10, 2023?
So moved.
Thank you. James, you are on mute. All those in favor? Before that, any errors or omissions that needs correcting? If not, then all those in favor, I think we all voted for that already. So the first item is Development Permit 21-935984, and the address is 12551 Number 1 Road. And it is for a development permit to do some exterior alterations and to vary the zoning bylaw for the minimum front yard setback to the garage and recycling enclosure from 3 meters to 0 meters. So with that, I will turn that over to the applicant. If the applicant would like to make a presentation to the panel, please go ahead and identify yourself.
Hello, my name is Gordon. I'm from McQuagan Associates Engineering, and I will present what we're doing at 12351 Number 1 Road. I guess I can share my screen. The purpose of our project is to replace windows and infill the overhead door on the south elevation and the inclusion of a garbage enclosure at the building. The building currently serves as the Fishery and Oceans Canada building. The building area is about 407 square meters. It's a wood frame construction from 1976. Existing ramps, steps, and stairs are aluminum. Guards and handrails are also aluminum, and the exterior is vinyl cladding, as you can see in the pictures. This is the drawing layout of the building. Over here in the top left corner is where we're thinking of putting the enclosure, but we do not have the clearance that was required, so we would need a variance for that. For the work, we are replacing approximately 18 windows around the exterior of the building with new aluminum double glazed windows with security glazing as per one of the security requirements for this building. There are also 2 front entry doors that we are replacing. This is one of the examples of the entry doors over here on the right side of the image. Aside from that, we are also trying to replace a door, infill a garage door on the south elevation. Here's one of the pictures over here, and it's been circled. Drawing elevation shows the garage door over here. And we're planning on taking this out so that we can infill the wall and put in new siding to match the existing that's around it. So this same grayish colored vinyl cladding. The last item would be to deal with the garbage bins that are outside the front of the building. We need to build an enclosure around it. Our current thoughts are to use a kind of metal panel fencing around the sorry, I accidentally went to the back. Let's see if I can get back to here. Sorry about that. Our current thoughts are to put the metal fencing around the garbage bins to form an enclosure, and we're keeping it the minimum 3,000 millimeters away from the adjacent building overhang. Our thoughts were to include fencing that looks something similar to this, except the color will be Harris gray, as selected from the Vancouver Heritage color selection. And basically, our overall proposal is to install new aluminum windows with security glazing, remove the existing overhead door on the south elevation and infill it. The wall will try to match the existing vinyl siding at the building. We'll also include the new garbage enclosure at the northwest corner of the property. New enclosure will be metal with color to be Harris gray from the Vancouver Heritage Foundation Historical True Colors paint palette. And we also need the variance for the distance away from the property line because we can't really achieve it without blocking off travel to the gate to the back side of the building. That's my presentation for what we're doing at the site. Is there any questions?
First, we'll hear from staff and see if there's any comments, and then the panel will ask questions. So, Mr. Craig?
Thank you, Madam Chair. If you could please stop sharing your screen.
Sure.
Thanks, Madam Chair. Just a couple of comments from staff. We do believe that the replacement of windows and doors does improve the overall appearance and energy efficiency of the building. This proposal was reviewed by the Richmond Heritage Commission and was endorsed. In terms of the setback variance for the garbage and recycling enclosure, staff are supportive of this variance. It does represent a significant improvement over the current unscreened situation. Happy to answer any questions.
Any questions from the panel? If none, I'll just jump in with a couple of things. I think it will be a great improvement to screen the garbage containers. I do notice that there are some parking stalls along the front property line there, and that would be within the setback. And I understand from staff that that will be dealt with at a later date on another permit. Is that correct?
Yes, Madam Chair, the encroachment issue will be dealt with separately.
Okay. And the height of the fencing for the garbage enclosure, does that require any relaxation for the height, or is that fine?
No issue with height.
Okay, thank you. Second opportunity, any questions from the panel? No. Okay, Mr. Clerk, is there any public to speak, or are there any correspondence?
I believe there's one correspondence for this item, Madam Chair.
Okay.
Yes, Madam Chair, there was a email received from a Sigrid Stobie, unit number 1394280. There were no concerns noted in Ms. Stobie's email. She was essentially seeking more information regarding what this proposal was about. Staff did contact her and provide her with a background on the application, and she thanked us for receiving that information with no follow-up required.
Thank you. I guess with that, we'll jump into panel deliberation. Maybe I'll get it started. As I said before, I think it's an improvement to what's there. You have to work with what you have. So the enclosure of the garbage will be a very, even though it seems small, but it will be a significant improvement for the area. With that, I think it's certainly a project that we can support. Any other comments from anybody wants to jump in to say anything?
I would just really echo your comments, Cecilia, that this is a good project and an improvement with respect to the garbage enclosures. And it's great to see the building be refurbished as well. It's probably overdue. So yeah, definitely support it.
Okay, with that, can the staff have a positive recommendation? So if I could have somebody move the motion forward to support the project?
Yeah, so moved.
James, you're on mute again. Anyways, all those in favor? Okay, thank you. So you've got your approval. Thank you. And then we would move to the second project then. It's development permit 21-936149 for 6520 Williams Road. And it's a development permit application to permit the construction of 8 townhouse units zoned RTL4, and to vary the provision of the zoning bylaw to reduce the minimum required lot width from 40 meters to 36.6 meters. And again, with that, if we could have the applicant step forward to make a presentation to get it started.
Thanks, Madam Chair. Should I share my screen?
Yes, please.
All right, thank you.
And introduce yourself, please.
Okay. So my name is Yin Guan. I'm from Graduate Architecture. I'm the architect of the project. Can everyone see the screen?
Yes, thank you.
Okay. So basically, this is a site on Williams Road, and then it's a single family right now. I'll flip the page to the site plan. So basically, this is a lot sitting on a very unique location where to the west is a park, open park. To the south is the parking lot of high school. And to the east is another site, which is butting against the road as well. So right now, I think we applied the rezoning and the development permit approval. At the same time, the owner of the next door, they're doing the same. So they're pretty much finished their rezoning. So basically, we're ahead of those, ahead of them. So basically, we're creating a driveway on our side, which will be shared in future. And then we have like a connection to their lot, to their development, to give them opportunity to access from our side. So the design it consists of two buildings, Building A and Building B, which are both parallel to William Street. And then in total, we have 8 units, townhouse, 3-level townhouse units. So this is the landscape plan, detailed landscape plan. So this is the street front in context. So basically here is current lot, which is our site, and this is neighbor site. This is our proposal. This is their neighbor's future proposal. You can see we're sharing the road, which is on our side. Isometric views. They pretty much like same size in terms of building width, with the road and then a courtyard in the middle. So this is the side. This is the view from the neighbor side, from the east side, and this is the bottom 3D view is looking from the park to the west. So basically, 2 buildings. You know, the first building, both buildings are sort of like proposing 20 feet units on the end, and then 2 16 feet wide units, interlocking units in the middle. So the middle ones, you know, they got like front and back random parking. The end unit, they got side by side, 2 parking garage. So very typical 3-story buildings, the townhouse buildings, and with slope roof on the top. And we're proposing like, you know, rooftop patios on and units. So this is the elevation. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to give sort of like a modern, contemporary look, clean look, to the building facade, with party panels, some like sort of wood paneling, which is longboard paneling, and then Ceraclad, different materials on the base. All the windows are like having a big openings as big as possible to bring more sunlight and cross ventilation. On the side, we're having like a corner windows allow people accessing, you know, from the front and the side, because over here is a park. So we're maximizing the view for the residents to looking at the park here. Same. So this is the material we're trying to use. So basically the white is the hardy panel. The wood colors are sort of like longboard, and then the base material we're trying to use like a long, like vertical grains for provided by Ceraclad. The color is like more like contemporary colors, mix combination. And also having sort of like a wood grain to represent, you know, West Coast, like contemporary, like in terms of materials and colors. The section, The main floor is a garage, and then top two levels are main living level, and then bedroom levels. And the very top we have like small rooftop patio, so that people can access to the park view, and also probably mountain view from the south. So that's my presentation. I'm gonna pass my presentation to the landscape architect, PMG.
Thank you. Please, could you go to the landscape? Yes, thank you. Good afternoon. My name is Denisa Dimitrova, PMG Landscape Architect. This project has been designed to incorporate existing trees proposed for retention from the project arborist. It's at south east corner. We have a big magnolia tree, and north west corner we have a couple of offside trees which are considered for retention, and we work to not to disturb existing grade in tree protection zone, and everything proposed for construction there should be under arborist supervision. And all works are to be constructed over the existing grade, so we're not disturbing it. Street frontage have been improved with aluminum transparent fence, and privacy from neighboring property have been created with 4 feet wood solid fence. It's 4 feet because it's placed over small retaining walls. Privacy between the units have been created with 6 feet wood fence and dropping to 4 feet gate and fence at the property line. This is for the units at south. For building B. For building 8, yards are separated with aluminum fence and short 4 feet high panel at the entrance to the units. Play area have been proposed for the younger one at southeast corner. 2 pieces of play equipment have been suggested for a different age group, and 5-9 kids who could play at the same time. This play equipment give different play opportunities as climbing, sliding, motor skills, balance, socializing. We are proposing a bench for caregivers there. As well, for safety reason, we are providing bollards at the edge of the turnaround area. As well, we are providing a bike rack for 2 bikes at the main entry to the site next to the mail kiosk at north. Permeable pavers have been proposed for visitor parking spots and for the area at the entry driveway. And this is pretty much all for landscape.
Thank you.
Thank
Does that conclude the applicant's presentation then, I assume?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. And then we'll hear from staff first before the panel asks questions. Mr. Craig?
Thanks, Madam Chair. If you could stop sharing screen.
Sure.
Thank you. Just a couple of comments for the panel. There is a servicing agreement associated with this application for frontage improvements along Williams Road, as well as site servicing connections. There is a variance associated with this application. That variance is a technical variance associated with the site assembly size. This variance was noted at time of rezoning and no concerns were expressed through the public hearing process. I would also note that this project is achieving BC Energy Step Code 3, which will include the introduction of heat pumps for heating and cooling. The heat pump units will comply with the city's noise bylaw requirements to be verified at the building permitting stage. Happy to answer any questions.
Thank you. I would see if my colleagues have questions first. I have a few, but I'll let you guys get in there first.
Okay. So thank you, Madam Chair. I just have two questions. Has there, in your development of the building skin, can you confirm that the levels of the TEDI as in your energy modeling, has that been met so that you're confident that at building permit stage that the skin would be approximately the same?
Thank you, James. So basically, definitely we're confident to meet the requirements, step 3 requirements, but also at the same time we're going to engage energy consultants, making sure that TEDI and TUI, these two numbers are met in terms of the energy consumption and performance. So this is something we're going to deal with at the building permit stage.
Okay. Next question is for the operation of the heat pump. It's as Mr. Craig noted that you have to be bound by the bylaws of the heat. We recommend that in your specification of the unit to have a unit that operates at around 55 decibels when the compressor is running.
Yes, duly noted. Definitely, we're gonna get like a quieter spec when we pick up, the models, making sure that it's not like interfere other people, like between units. So we definitely get that.
And thank you. One last question is that in the access to the rooftop decks there. Just like to confirm that there will be, it's the stairs, the actual doors within the stairwell to the exterior, and no protruding types of penthouses are being proposed for the access way to the roof.
Absolutely. We have done like a couple of designs already. Basically, the way we have done is we're putting the door to the access to the stair leading to the rooftop units. The door will be putting on the second level. On the second level, it's not like protruding to the rooftop. The stair to the rooftop going to be like an open staircase, right? So that making sure that there's nothing like a roof or penthouse things happening on top of the roof. That's been yeah.
Okay, so no further questions, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Mr. Cooper. Mr. Hopkins?
Yeah, thank you, Madam Chair. Just a couple of clarification questions just related to the rooftop. Is the rooftop is only for the external units, I presume, or is there rooftop access for the internal units?
Oh, thanks for the question, John. So basically, it's only for the end unit, two bigger units, not for the smaller units.
Okay, and then the other clarification was, could you give me the range of the square footage of the proposed units? What are they ranging from?
Sure. The smaller units, it's anywhere like it's sort of like roughly about 1,200 square feet. The bigger units is about 1,500 square feet.
And they look to be all 3-bedroom?
3-bedroom, yes.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks. And my other question is actually more for staff. I'm curious about the access. There's access obviously for this proposal, and then the property to the development proposal to the east. Would it be sharing this one access point, or are we looking at a secondary access point from that property? And I'm thinking about more just the proposed turnaround, whether that would be needed when that property to the east develops.
Through the chair to Mr. Hopkins, the intention is that this property will provide driveway access to the property to the east. The truck turnaround or vehicle turnaround area that is being provided on this site is designed in a manner where when that is no longer required as a result of development occurring to the east, that area will be converted into an extension of the outdoor amenity space for the residents. That is why that area is designed through the use of grasscrete.
Great. Thank you. That's all I have, Madam Chair.
Thank you. I guess I'll follow up on Mr. Hopkins' question a little bit. It is unfortunate that the two development didn't sync the development so that you can have the driveway half on each side because this is a tighter site, and to give this a little bit more green space and to achieve a better maybe shared amenity space. That is unfortunate. I know there's not much you can do about it. The second half of the question is to staff. Have we taken any effort to ensure that turnaround space will be converted to green space when the adjacent development occurs?
Through the chair, other than ensuring that the design allows for easy conversion, there is no additional measures.
Due to the timing, presumably.
Correct. We do not control when the adjacent site may move forward.
Right, because once it gets into the hand of the Strata Council, that's the likelihood of that happening becomes a lot less likely. That would be unfortunate, but that is the way it is. Secondly is the question on trees. I know that the any removal of trees was already dealt with at the rezoning stage. This is a question about grading. The trees that are being retained, is the grade on this site being built up, or anything that might affect the survivability of those trees?
No, existing grade, the tree protection zone, we keep the grades as it is. We don't disturb the existing grade. So that's why we're showing on the plan the tree protection fence and everything related with change in the grades. It's outside of the tree protection areas.
Okay,
For the Magnolia, it's southeast corner. It's completely, we are building everything up of existing grade. And for the trees at the west area where the park is, we have very small wall which will be built outside of the tree protection.
Okay, thank you.
So we will work to keep that undisturbed.
Yeah, please make sure we do that, because we've seen a couple of times that existing trees that were intended for retention for one reason or another didn't get followed through the project. And given that this is adjacent to the park and we're not, the site is tight, it will be important to keep what's there. Final question, well, actually two. One is nobody's spoken about the lighting of the site, being that it is adjacent to the park. Will there be any lighting on the exterior of the building that might cast light onto the park? Anybody that can give me a little bit more information on the lighting?
Well, my understanding is that we're not shedding the light to the park, but on our exterior wall, especially on the main floor, we have security lighting on the wall, like wall sconce, making sure the wall is being lit, so it's not like it's 100% dark at night, but we keep that as minimal, so that there's the neighbors, we're not really really light place, we're trying to keep minimal, but there's wall sconce on the side of the wall adjacent to the park. Yes.
Okay. Thank you. And this is a question to staff. Are there any lock-off units in these? I know it's probably not required for the size of the project. Are there any affordable units within the units?
Through the chair, no. This project is providing cash in lieu to the city's affordable housing strategy through the rezoning. There are no secondary suites proposed in these townhouse units currently.
Okay, thank you. That concludes my questions. Anybody else have any second questions or secondary questions that they can think of? If not, then I guess we get into. Yes, Mr. Cooper, did you say yes?
Yes, Madam Chair. I'm sorry
Okay.
for the
That's okay.
tardiness of this question. When these buildings are to be built according to the flood control levels, please be mindful that your fence heights, if your site will be raised in order to achieve these levels, your neighboring property, I guess, to the south, please be mindful of the effect of the overall fence height to your neighboring property. So, if you are starting at a higher grade elevation, the overall height of the fence shall be limited by an average between your finished grade at the property line and the finished grade of your neighbor.
Thanks, Mr. Cooper. Just to clarify, there's a roll of hedge being on the south property line.
Okay, so the hedge is on your property, or is it on the neighboring property?
It's on our property.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
No further questions.
Thank you. Mr. Clerk, is there anybody there to speak to the project or any written comments?
Madam Chair, we don't have any correspondence for this item, and we don't have any member of the public registered to speak on this item as well.
Thank you. So this is a project that we see quite a lot, townhouse project, good location adjacent to a park. I think it's done what it intends to do, which is to provide a variety of housing, some smaller units, some larger units, and it's done a decent job accommodating the future development to the east. Other than, sadly, more trees cannot be saved. I think is a good project, and I'm happy to move this forward. I welcome the other members if they want to speak to the project.
Madam Chair, nothing further to add. It's a good project, and I'm happy to support it as well.
Okay. Nothing further from me, Madam Chair.
Thank you. So I guess the next step, okay, so we should do our vote if somebody wants to move the recommendation to approve the project.
So
Move
moved.
to recommend.
Thank you. All those in favor? Okay, thank you. I guess the next step is to counsel for the projects, both of them. And I think the only other thing, so you've got the project approved. So any new business, anybody?
No new business, Madam Chair.
Okay, and I guess the date of the next meeting is June the 28th. Okay, so move, and then I now move for adjournment. Somebody move
So
adjournment, please. Thank you. All right, we're now adjourned.
Thank you, Ms. Madam. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.